Yo, what you saying to me? Big dog, back in the building, yeah? And let's get straight into it. Actually, before we get into it, listen, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, run it up, show the page some love, show the channel some love, help me grow the platform. It is much appreciated. Now, let's get straight into it, yeah? 5 games remaining. 5 games remaining for Arsenal to get this job done. And in typical Arsenal fashion, we have made it so hard for ourselves. But one thing, yeah, for certain, I still believe that we've got the capability to do this amongst all the noise, amongst all the hype, amongst all the celebrations from the rival fans. And you know what also as well, you guys make me sick. See all you man in my WhatsApp group. See all you man celebrating, like tweaking for Man City. Are you not ashamed? Are you man not ashamed? Anyway, like, forget them anyway, but it's disgusting behaviour. But anyway, I still believe that Arsenal have the capabilities to go on and still win this league, regardless of the circumstances that we're in, with Man City now top of the table, drawn on points, ahead by goals scored. I still feel that Arsenal, it is in our grasp and still in our hands to do it. It is a shootout. It is who blinks first, gun for gun, machine for machine, striker for striker, midfield for midfield. It is all there on the cards to be played for, on the table, should I say, to be played for. And let's just see what happens. Arsenal, we got Newcastle coming to town on Saturday evening, 5:30 kickoff under the lights. And you know what? I don't mind that one. I would have preferred a 3 o'clock kickoff. Just a blending game. Just go out there and blend it and get the job done. But 5:30 under the cameras, we all know Newcastle's going to try and come and turn up, disrupt, because it just so happens everyone wants to come up and turn up against Arsenal. I don't know what it is. There is just a weird energy when it comes to playing Arsenal that everybody turns up and does their best. You even look at City. City, come games that we played them, have turned up and tried to do their best, and then they go to Burnley and put on a performance like that. Beyond me. But anyway, Newcastle come, and I believe that we can get it done. I believe we can get it done at home. I feel like there'll be some confidence rolling on from the Man City game, even though we lost it. And this is the thing, no matter what you say, people always going to come with whatever it is they got to say. Yes, we lost the game to Man City, but I do believe we played exceptionally well. The best I've ever seen us play in a long time. And I can go back and go over it. If you've watched previous episodes, I've said how I feel about that. I said, how I feel about the substitutions, Arteta taking Eze off, which I feel like wasn't needed. And I also feel like in these crunch times of these games, these 5 games that we got left, Arteta, it is on Arteta to get everything right. You might have a sliver of an opening for foolishness, and you might get bailed out, but 99% of everything you do right now needs to be bang on. It needs to be bang on. We cannot be taking the wrong people off, taking the wrong gambles, setting up in the wrong way, going at it tactically wrong. Everything has to be on the money, because we have potentially 8 games, 7 for certain, including Champions League, yeah, that we need to get this right. And it could be a glorious end to the end of the season. I still feel that there's still twists and turns in this race for the Premier League, and I still feel that the Champions League is still there to be taken as well. Contrary to what everyone else thinks, I still think we are a strong player in that. I do, and I have said, I shared, like, you know what, I have my concerns over Bayern Munich. Yeah, I've been saying it, Bayern Munich and PSG. But in order to get the honours, in order to win the Champions League, it cannot be easy. You're going to have to meet one of these big boys sooner or later. And it has been lucky for us that we've able to, if we do go on and go on to the final, it means that we'll meet them in the final. And we've not had to tear our way and have these grueling games in these knockout stages, because it would have been tough, I think, had we, met PSG or had the run-in that Man City had, Real Madrid. Then obviously Real Madrid bumped into Bayern Munich, then PSG, then whoever you get in the final. it's murders. But then at the same time, you could look at it like, if you go through that hard run, like similar to how we had it last season, end up bumping into a PSG, getting through, then you got Inter Milan, or potentially, like you see in here, it could have been a Sporting Atletico in the final or whatever. Do you get what I mean? But anyway, we move. That is there to be played for. We then go on to Fulham after the Atletico Madrid game, which I still feel we can get a result out in Madrid, but we'll see. I'll take a 0-0, 1-1. I'll take a draw and bring it back home and try to get something done. But then we then entertain Fulham, which Iwobi and you, man, there, I will be sliding in DMs and hitting man up and telling man to fall back for this one. Yeah? I'm expecting man them to fall back. Yeah, if you played for Arsenal, you know what it's about. Yeah, you know what's going on here. I'm expecting a little light 70% effort, a 65% effort. You know what I mean? 70 max out of you, man. Out of you, man. I don't expect too much tracking back. I don't expect too much work rate. I'm expecting man to get dragged, yeah, in the 60th, 70th minute. Yeah, you know, like that. Or even I'm expecting man to give a little bit more just so it looks like he was trying. Yeah, but I'm expecting man them to roll over for that one. So I'm going to go for an Arsenal win again, which then puts us 6 points ahead. 6 points ahead until Man City play their next Premier League game, which for them will be Everton away, which is a tough fixture. I'm expecting Beto and the gang in them man, Jack Grealish and them man to turn up the heat on them man up in the north, yeah? Yeah? Because we know them Scousers don't like them Mancunians, bro. We know they don't like the Mancs, so I'm expecting man to turn it up. You get me? And get a result there. And then we'll go from there. Then I'll make another video seeing where we're at when we get to that stage. But I'm expecting us to do something. And this is why I still feel confident that Arsenal can get the business and get the work rate and get the job done, yeah, in the Premier League. I haven't given up hope, even though I know a lot of you, man, a lot of you Gooners have already given up. I know you have. But I ain't given up hope because I still think this is possible. I have said it from the start. This is our year. And I still think it's our year, but it was never going to be easy. It was never going to be easy. We was never just going to walk it. It was never just going to be a 15-point gap and it's all settled now and, you know what I mean, we're all skipping our way. It was going to be something like this, and it's going to be epic. Arsenal's first Premier League title is going to be an epic one, which may go down to the wire. We might have it 1-2 games out. You never know. City could go to... These are the games that I feel City are going to drop points or could potentially drop points. I feel like it's the Everton away and when they go away to Bournemouth. I think those are the games. Anything else can happen in the other games, but I feel like those teams are the teams that are still scrapping for something. You know what I mean? Everton could still make Europe if they get there. You know what I mean? Next few games, right? They can make Europa. Then you think you got Bournemouth knocking on the door of Champions League, especially where Chelsea are playing so bad. And you know what? I might have to start making videos talking about other clubs because Chelsea needs to be studied and we need to get into that at some point. So let me know in the comments if you want me to start talking about other teams, getting into it about other teams. You know what I mean? Sharing my little point of view on that. Do you get what I'm saying? But I think Bournemouth are strong favourites along with Brighton. See, there's a lot of fighting going on there that for the 6th place potentially if Aston Villa can go all the way to the Europa League final and get that over the line. But then that also makes it that dependent on what Villa do the week before, when they play, if they do get through and they play in the Europa League final, they then win, lose or draw, go on to a City game for the last game of the season where the motivation might not be there, depending. Because if they've already won the Carabao, the Europa League, they're in celebration mode. The last thing they want to do is go to the Etihad and turn up and give it a good shot and do us any favours. Best believe them man hate us with all their guts, yeah? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting run and I'm here for it. I'm excited for it. You know what? Nothing comes easy and for whatever weird reason, I feel like all the stress is gone. It's mad. I don't know how to explain it. I think you would have seen my previous videos. I was a bit stressy, a bit upset, a bit frustrated. Kind of wanted it done and dusted early doors. And it's not really worked out that way. So I feel like we have no choice but to kind of get behind the team and believe still. Because it is still there to be played for and it still can be done. And I feel like that's why even with some of the rival fans, they're trying to live in the moment of banter, but they're not fully going all the way out because they do know it still can be achieved. And you're looking at both fixtures, you would say on paper Man City have the harder fixtures, but it's Arsenal. And we don't do anything easy and we don't make life easy for ourselves. And games that you'd think we should win, we don't win. Games that you think we should turn up, we don't. And games that you think we should get rolled over, we somehow miraculously get a result. So I just don't know how it's going to go. But I feel come May the 24th, Sunday, May the 24th, I feel like we'll be the champions. I feel like we'll be the Premier League holders. And I feel that it's well deserved. If I'm honest with you, forget what people think about the fans. Forget the fans for a minute. Just forget all of that. But it is how I felt about Liverpool. I remember I was so anti, like my brethren were unbearable. I was so against Liverpool winning the league. I was like in that season. I remember it was lockdown, and I had a bottle of champagne, a bottle of Cristal that I hadn't cracked open yet, and I was saying I was gonna crack it open when Liverpool bottled the league, and I was so anti, and it got to a point that I think I realised I was being super toxic, and I realised that I was drinking poison and getting poisoned off my own drink, if you get what I mean. Like I'm trying to make want Liverpool fans and Liverpool players like them to drink the poison, but I'm poisoning myself off of how I feel about how good their team was. And they come to a point when I think may have been the season that they won it, and I was just like I was like, yeah, you know what, Mane, Salah, Firmino, Henderson, all of them, they deserve it. They've been banging on the door against a 115 charges City team, which we have clearly seen that this City team are no joke when it comes to trying to win silverware ahead of them. And I just felt like the players deserved it. I felt like it was their time. I felt like it was, and it's the same sort of feeling I feel for Arsenal. Take away the bias, take away everything. I think. I said it on the live show that I did with Strides. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out. Loose Cannons, and also I know Turkish uses the same. They got the Loose Cannons podcast. Ours is called Loose Cannons. They got the Loose Cannon podcast. We've spoken about it. We had a conversation. Obviously, we were using the name from before. Obviously wasn't really consistent with the content. They started using the name. We both agreed we're just going to crack on with it. Our thing hasn't built up to the levels of what they're doing anyway, so I don't feel like our show is going to really much affect their show. You know what I mean? So anyway, just if in case anyone was asking. But yeah, I brought it up and I just feel that it's the same I feel about this team. I feel this team deserve it. I feel that like what we've done in the space of 6 years in terms of, you know, turning this club from a toxic club. I don't feel a lot of people see now and see what's going on now and probably forget that 7 years ago, where we was under Unai Emery, just coming off the back of some of our highest comedic banter, memes and content and just stupidness that was going on with the Ozil, the Lacazette, the Aubameyang, just the all, you know, like all of what we had, Koscielny leaving, taking off his top, and just all what we was going through as a club, you know, losing to Chelsea in the Europa League final. There was a lot going on, and it was bad. It was toxic, you know. Big up AFTV and what they do, you know. People were looking into that to kind of laugh at us, and I'm so glad that just the way that platform has changed itself around as well, and how it's perceived now that the haters don't get the enjoyment out of it like they used to. You know what I mean? It's still raw with content, but you know, like, and that's also another reason why they hate us as well, because you think about it, when it comes to content, I think Arsenal content is probably the biggest out there in terms of fan base content. But anyway, I just feel like this team deserves it. I think we've been through a lot. I think Arteta over the 6 years to turn the club around, even with our own fans not being fully behind him and backing of him because he's not their choice. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like he just deserves it. You know what I mean? I feel, so I just feel like we're at that stage that this team, and I don't feel like it's that mad that Arsenal win it. We've won it before many years ago, and I don't see why is it so deep that if we was to win it again, it's just weird. But I also do feel like part of it is to do with our noisy rivals. And this is the thing, when you call them rivals, they say, nah, you ain't our rivals, we've won Champions League. But then when you tell them that right now at this phase of what's going on in football, you shouldn't be talking to us. Well, of course we got to talk to you, we're rivals. But I feel like a lot of noise comes from our nosy neighbours and our nosy rivals, the London-based Man United fans, which I'll probably do a whole separate episode on them. I might even throw out little clips and little bits that I'll throw in there just to see how wild these men are. These men are our biggest haters. And it'd be nice to silence those guys. You know what I mean? I think they're desperate for us to not win it before they do, so they can have that laugh. And they're so desperate to be in the reckoning and challenging, which is to be expected. That's another thing. I think there's nothing wrong in that. Like, half of the things that we get onto each other about and we banter each other about and all of this stuff, like, half of it ain't even wrong. Like, some of I was having a discussion and people are saying, oh, Arsenal fans are so delusional. You're so delusional. Like, you're talking about winning a quadruple. Like, delusional. There's nothing delusional in that. If you're in all 4 competitions, why not dare to dream? Like, this is the thing. I feel like football's got to a place where you can't be a dreamer with your club, like, and want your club to win it all. So what if you're making videos and content? Like, you got to remember, if Arsenal fans make videos and content, it's for Arsenal fans. If United fans or City fans and all these people are making content, it's for their people. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes, if they talk about your club and then, direct it at you, then you have every right to respond and say something. But it is generally for their club. But anyway, listen, I just think it's our time. I feel like these lot deserve it. I feel like they need to get over the line and win it. And I feel like it's not going to be done the easy way, which they could have had. Which wouldn't have been the easy way. They would have been the better team in the league had they just won the games that they done and deserved to win it. But now they've got to earn the right to be champions. And I think it should be an exciting moment for them and they should relish in it. And I think every player needs to give it their all, because I don't feel like a lot of these players will still be here come next season. I feel like there will be a lot of departures. I feel like there'll be a lot of departures and there'll be a lot of incoming. So this is your opportunity to stamp yourself down in the history books. So let's go and do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and do it. But anyway, in and out. I'll be back again. After the Newcastle game and after the Champions League game. We'll be back again with another Loose Cannon stream, me and Strives. Probably have a few special guests with us as well. But yeah, man, listen, keep looking in, keep tuning in. Big up yourselves every time. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Give me any feedback. Put your comments on as to what you think Arsenal are going to do in these last final games. And let's go. Take it easy. Big Doug, we out.